General Hospital, Psycho Willow's revenge rampage, Drew's dark alliance? General Hospital sees Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, has gone into full psycho mode and is tormenting people, but will Drew Kane Quartermaine, Cameron Matheson, join in with her evil antics? We're going to talk about how far Willow goes and whether Drew talks her down or joins in the mayhem. General Hospital spoilers, Willow's psycho mode and baby Daisy snatching. We did a video recently asking who snatched baby Daisy, and Willow was at the top of our suspect list. And then it came out that our top candidate is indeed the culprit. Sasha Gilmore, Sophia Matson, is being gaslit and tormented by vengeful Willow. She messed with Sasha's head so bad about baby Daisy that now Sasha wants to leave Port Charles. And if you remember, in our latest rumor roundup, we reported from a leaker that Sophia Matson is exiting General Hospital soon and Sasha leaves Port Chuck with the baby. And this week, we saw Willow saying she wants revenge for Sasha and Michael Corinthos' Rory Gibson so-called betrayal. You know, in her mind. We now know for sure that Willow is the one who's been messing with Sasha by moving baby Daisy around, changing her clothes, messing with the mobile. And Willow snatched the sleeping baby from her crib upstairs, took off with Daisy, then snuck back into the house to put her in the downstairs bassinet to drive Sasha crazy and make her look like a paranoid liar, a crazy person, basically. Willow's dark past, baby swapping and custody verdict. So, for those that are asking, is Willow also the one who switched Daisy with another baby at General Hospital right after she was born? Yeah, of course she is. Caitlin McMullen confirmed that in a recent interview. And if you don't recall, Willow was at the hospital when it happened. She was checked in not long after Sasha checked into GH. Willow delivered baby Daisy in the courtroom, and then she had a complete and total breakdown over losing custody of her children. So yeah, Willow was in the hospital, and it would have been super easy for her to sneak into the nursery where they keep the babies. She's a nurse, so yeah, she could have crept in there, swapped Daisy with another baby, and then snuck back out, and the nurse on duty was none the wiser and just brought in the baby that was in the Daisy bassinet. That's where it all started. General Hospital, Willow's mental state and Drew's influence. And obviously at that point, Willow's mind was just cracking apart because of the custody verdict. And the other stunts she pulled with Daisy at the Quartermaine mansion, those were a bit more difficult because she had to sneak out of her and Drew's house and then onto the Q property. But Willow lived there for quite a while. She knows all the ways in and out of the house because she lived there. And since Drew is busy with meetings and often out of town as a congressman, it's easy for Willow to creep around and act like a real psycho lately. But also, she's the most obvious suspect to be tormenting Sasha and Michael if you think about it. You know, while Willow was with Michael, she seemed like a sweet, kind, level-headed person. And that's been that way for a couple of years now. Carly Corinthos Spencer, Laura Wright, was convinced, Michael was convinced, all the Quartermaines. But, you know, we all know Willow has got plenty of crazy inside her. Not only because of her family's tainted gene pool, but also because she was raised in Shiloh Archer's, Kobe Ryan McLaughlin creepy cult, Dawn of Day, with a completely unhinged adoptive mother. Willow's twisted family history and Shiloh's cult influence. But just real quick, let's talk about Willow's DNA because it's beyond nutty and deranged. You know, if you remember, Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, was absolutely nutso when she came out of her 20-year-long coma. That was back when Michelle Stafford originated the role. And Willow's grandmother is evil to the core. That's Nina's mom, Madeline Reeves, Donna Mills, who stabbed Willow's bio dad, Silas, to death. And remember, she sold off Nina's twin girls, Nellie Benson, Chloe Lanier, and Willow, and lied to her daughter, Nina, her whole life, saying that she had miscarried while in the coma, and then the truth came out later. And then, of course, there's the fact that Willow's twin sister, Nellie, is absolutely 100% unequivocally bat-crap crazy. So Willow's got one messed up gene pool. And don't forget her adoptive mom, Harmony Miller, Inga Cadranel, raised Willow in a cult and gave her to Shiloh to take her virginity and then repeatedly rape while he was messing with her mind. So Willow has this double whammy of crazy, actually a triple whammy. Nutty DNA, raised by a woman devoted to a perverted cult leader. And then I firmly believe Shiloh's obsession and abuse of Willow is why Drew is able to manipulate her now. It's like Willow's still brainwashed, but she just swapped Drew for Shiloh. You know, one manipulator for another. The significance of the name Daisy and Willow's revenge. And also, I was wondering if maybe hearing Sasha's baby's name also kind of got Willow all twisted up. Do you remember that girl named Daisy from the Dawn of Day cult? Her name was Daisy Kwan. She was very close to Shiloh, and she even performed the wedding ceremony between Nellie and Shiloh when they got married in Pentonville prison. So Willow might have been triggered by the name Daisy too. It just seems weird in the whole realm of all the names in the world why they would have chosen Daisy when that's somebody who was close to someone who tormented Willow in the past. So Willow told little baby Daisy that her mommy Sasha betrayed her and her daddy Michael won't let her see her kids Wiley Quartermain Corinthos, Viren Weaver, and Amelia Grace Corinthos, Sequoia and Serenity Mork Mako. So Willow said she and the baby were going to show Sasha and Michael how that feels. And she said we're going to take a little walk. And then of course she did bring her back. Detective chases doubts and Sasha's possible exit from General Hospital. So Detective Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, seems to think Sasha is lying and or losing her sanity, and that's her fake ex, you know. So I will say Sasha has a history of doing dodgy things and going off her rocker. It could help Willow in the custody case if Sasha seems unstable and she's sharing house space with Wiley and Amelia. And the two questions I have now are: number one, will Michael accept Sasha's demand that she's going to leave town? We have heard the actress is leaving. So we'll see if Sophia Matson indeed goes. And unless and until Sasha leaves, I fully expect Willow to keep tormenting them and scaring them about Daisy. Drew's reaction: will he stop or join Willow's mayhem? And my second question is, when Drew figures out what Willow is doing, will he try and stop her? Will he talk sense to her or do something worse? Because initially, you know, Drew will be surprised because it's out of character for Willow to act this way. However, Drew may decide that making Sasha look crazy could help them in court. And Drew might even join in on these reindeer games with Willow, maybe give her some advice on how to do even worse things to Sasha and Michael. I mean, Drew's got crazy eyes. He's no more sane than Willow. Even if Drew tells her to stop, you know, and whether she does or doesn't, he certainly wouldn't tell anybody that Willow's the one doing this. At a bare minimum, I think Drew will understand why that she's doing it, and he'll cover for Willow, because if it comes out, it'll mess up things for them in court and for him in Congress. Drew can't be marrying somebody unstable that's messing with a baby. Willow may never get her kids back. Drew wouldn't get re-elected. General Hospital, Drew loses it? I mean, if General Hospital wanted to get really wild, they could have Drew and Willow both get really villainous. We all know how sketchy Drew can be. He is a full villain on. And if Willow joins in as his Queen of Darkness, well, that could be really interesting. We'll see how far it goes. I can't wait to see Drew's reaction when he finds out what his dark little darling Willow has been doing with the baby. Also, Nina's going to be horrified. But come on, let's face it, she's done worse too. She basically cut Ava Jerome's, Maura West, baby out of her and, you know, tried and steal her. So she can't really say too much about it, right? Sidwell's shocking partner exposed, Sonny betrayed. General Hospital sees Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda, conspiring with secret allies, and it may blindside Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Benard, to find out that there's actually a vaster network of enemies working to take him down and he didn't realize it. We're going to talk about Sidwell's secret partners. We're going to reveal some people you might not have known that are on board with Sidwell's effort to get rid of the Teflon Don for good. Let's dig into the network of enemies and rivals taking aim at Sonny. General Hospital, Sidwell's plot and Sonny's enemies in Port Charles. So right now, Sidwell is working overtime to get Sonny out of Port Charles and out of his way. He's got big plans. We know they're dodgy. We know they're dangerous. And the same day that Sidwell first came to Port Charles after his dangerous GH debut over in Africa, where he was messing with Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, and Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, and Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, and Dr. Isaiah Gannon, saw Andy Wilson. That was the same day Sonny's penthouse went boom and Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, was severely injured. And it appears right now that Sidwell didn't do it. Or more likely that there are two different culprits in the fire at Sonny's home versus the Charlie's Pub fire that we know Sidwell orchestrated. So there's definitely more enemies at work here than just the new villain in town. Anna is starting to see this and she is definitely digging in. Sonny Corinthos' dilemma, selling the peers and mob war escalation. Not long ago, Sidwell played nice and he made a very generous offer to buy the piers from Sonny. And if you remember, Sonny was telling Jason they need to get out of the business to protect their families. They started talking about that during his whole heart condition thing. And Sonny had been seriously considering selling to Sidwell. Laura Spencer, Jeannie Francis, advised against it because she felt like he was a worse proposition because she got the lowdown from Lucky about Sidwell. And in the end, Sonny just couldn't sign on the dotted line until he and Jason knew for sure that Sidwell didn't bomb his penthouse and burn Michael. And now with the pub thing, Sonny seems totally unwilling to sell to Sidwell. So, there's this big mob war brewing and Sonny absolutely thinks that Sidwell burned down Charlie's pub. Even though, let's be real, Sidwell did a pretty good job framing Selena Wu Lydia look. He had some of her henchmen doing stuff. He had them on the run and, everybody was wondering when their bodies were going to turn up. Selena took off out of town. Twists and turns, Sonny's revenge plot and unseen threats in General Hospital. But what was kind of bizarre is Sonny and Jason thought it was Sidwell simply because Marco happened to be driving by and happened to save Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Monsey life. And of course, Sidwell did set up the fire, but Sonny and Jason don't actually really have any concrete proof. Their main exercise is jumping to conclusions, especially Sonny. And now he's actually plotting to hurt Marco to get revenge. And Sonny thinks somehow that will solve things. And Carly Corinthos Spencer, Laura Wright, went over there really upset. She warned Sonny this is only going to escalate things. She conjured up Morgan Corinthos, Brian Craig death. And Sonny's like, yo, nobody will get hurt. And she reminded him of all the times people have. So Sonny's just saying words that actually don't mean anything. And the thing is, Jason, Sonny, and Carly really don't have any idea how many people are actually involved in this plot. How many forces are converging on Sonny that want him run out of town, his crime ring shut down, maybe even that want him killed. So declaring war on Sidwell also means Sonny's going to face backlash from people that he's not even expecting. And part of that might be the voters of Port Charles' conspiracy and other hidden agendas against Sonny. So, some of these people Sonny might suspect, but bottom line, he's kind of hyper-focused on Sidwell, so he may not be seeing the other threats out there. It's like in Jurassic Park in the first movie when the hunter guy didn't see the raptor coming from the side cause he was so focused on the one in front of him. That's what I feel like we've got. And one powerful person in particular that Sonny doesn't know is laser focused on ruining his business and seeing him taken down is Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott. Now, Sonny knows Tracy doesn't like him and doesn't want Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza, around him because of the risk of him becoming collateral damage. But Sonny's got no idea that Tracy has been willing to conspire with Drew Kane Quartermaine, Cameron Matheson, and was willing to throw in with Sidwell despite him being dangerous just to get Sonny out of deception, out of Port Charles. General Hospital, Sidwell racking up allies. Plus, Sidwell has that judge in his pocket. That Jen's paid off the judge at Michael and Willow Tate's, Caitlin McMullen, custody hearing to get the kids under one roof, and that may have been to get Drew to escalate against Sonny's son Michael and further distract Sonny. D.A. Turner, Nazneen contractor, is aiming for Sonny and Sidwell's now utilizing resources to try and pressure Turner to reopen the investigation into Natalia Rogers Ramirez, Eva LaRue death. And Ezra Boyle, Daniel Cosgrove, the guy who wants to replace Laura as PC mayor, is also involved. He's using Natalia's death for more publicity before the referendum vote. Now at least Sonny does know about Boyle. That one we know he knows about. Alliances and hidden connections, Sidwell's web of influence in General Hospital. And I think it would be kind of cool actually if GH had Sidwell and D.A. Turner conspiring because the actors that play those two are married in real life if you didn't know it. And of course, Sidwell and Drew are in cahoots. Both want Sonny off the docks out of town if possible. Sidwell also offered Selena the chance to come back to town and work with him after he destroys Sobney, and she kind of accepted that as a consolation prize. So, she has been kind of forced into the position. But Selena is now also an ally of Sidwell's. And then there's Jordan Ashford, Tanisha Harper, who's working for Sidwell, but she really wants to take Sonny down. I mean, it's true she's also trying to get scoop on Sidwell to take him down too. But Jordan definitely thinks Anna is too close to Sonny. She thinks Laura is too close to Sonny. So, she's definitely plotting and I don't think he knows about that. And we know Sidwell's funding Professor Hank Dalton's Daniel Goddard research. So that's somebody else up to no good. Mind control, explosives, and potential culprits, unraveling the conspiracy against Sonny. And that research is supposed to be about mind control. And I was thinking about that and the fact that they were talking about somebody with military experience and access to military grades munitions or explosives was the one that blew up Sonny's penthouse. And with Sidwell working with Dalton, it would be really wild if somehow Drew was still under mind control. Remember Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, was digging into all that stuff with his medical records, and she did something just like with his body weight, which was ridiculous. So everybody says Drew isn't the man he once was. I think it'd be absolutely wild if Sidwell and Dalton had somehow gotten control over the rogue congressman, because if you remember Peter August, Wes Ramsey used Drew as a programmed assassin. Helena Cassadine, Constance Towers, did it in the past. General Hospital, Valentine Cassadine resurfaces? And another possible co-conspirator of Jen Sidwell could be Valentine Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart. Even though he's off-screen, he was running that mercenary group Pikeman. So Sidwell actually might have contracted them to blow up Sonny's place. So he and Valentine may have ties. We can't forget Jack Brennan. Chris McKenna was close to Valentine. Also Ren Pikeman. Brennan has access to the type of explosives that blew up Sonny's place. So Jack's hot for Carly. He may want Sonny out of the way. So he could be secretly working with Jen Sidwell? So I don't think we have actually seen the reveal of all of the allies stacking up against Sonny, but I think we're going to find out more every day. Things are looking bad for him. Things are looking pretty good for Sidwell. We'll see how it goes, but unless General Hospital is going to actually have Sonny get out of the mob business, I can't imagine Sidwell's going to win in the end, no matter how many allies he's got.